Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to be sharing with you how to cut and sew this stylish asymmetric corset with a front lacing bar. So if this is something you like, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let's dive right into today's video. So to start, here is my pattern and I've gone ahead to cut this out. I added ½ inch all the way around, and the side I did not add ½ inch on it. So on this part I went ahead also to add ½ inch all around it, and I'm just going to open it up to pin it together. So this is the right part. I'm just going to place this and I'll stitch, but before I stitch I'll go ahead to cut out a wording for the cup part. You can also use an already made cup if you want, but you're going to trim it. So on this part I added ½ inch all the way around. So after that I'm just going to open this up and I will be placing it with the other side. I'll also unpin it. So I added ½ inch all the way around apart from the side, just like we also did on the first part of this pattern. So I'll just go ahead and place this and I'll be stitching it up with ½ inch. But before I stitch it up, we're going to be cutting out a wording for the cup part. So here is the lining piece, and I also ironed gum stay on it. So on your main fabric you can go ahead and iron stay on it also. So I'll be joining it with ½ inch just like we also did for the main fabric. So I'll just go ahead and I will use this to cut out my wording. So take note, this is your underbust, and I'll just go ahead to cut this out straight. So I'll be cutting this other side also. From that part I'll be adding wording there too. So after I'm done cutting out this part, you notice here is the bust area. If we're sewing a normal bustier, that will be the center of the pattern. So I'll just follow what I have there and I'm going to trace it out. So while cutting out this side, I noticed that the wording I cut out was a bit shorter because I went above my bust line at the other part. So I'll just go ahead and make sure that my bust part and my chest line is matching, and I'll just go ahead to trace this out this way and cut out. So I'll be placing this and cutting it out as one piece. So while cutting out this wording, I'll be adding ½ inch just in front. I won't add by the side on the upper part, but for this I'll add on both sides and I won't add at the lower part. Also for this I'll be adding by the side and I won't add at the upper and the lower part of this. So I'll just go ahead and also cut this out. So when I'm cutting out the wording for these two, I'm also going to add by the side, sorry. I won't be adding at the upper parts and the lower part because you're going to be placing it directly at your under bust. So here's my pattern now and I've gone ahead to join it up. So this is how it is looking like. So after I'm done joining this, I went ahead also to join the lining part. So if you notice on the lining part, the middle part I used the fabric. This is because I don't want when I turn it up the lining will be popping out. So that is the back pattern and I'm going to be joining it. And on the lining you notice I ironed gum stay. So I ran short of gum stay. I had to just add the ones I had up and iron it out. So I actually worked with what I had at home. So on the main fabric also I will be placing the sides and I will join. So remember the back pattern we blended up the dart, so we just have one piece. So this is the lining after I'm done joining. This is what it looks like, and I will be sewing a boning on it. This is to give structure to the dress. I'll just go ahead and mark. So by the side also, that is the joining at the side, you can go ahead and sew boning to it. But I'm just going to leave mine. So the more boning you add on your pattern, the more structured your dress is. So I'll go ahead and mark about 1 inch away from the starting point at the lower part of my pattern. That is where I'll insert my boning from that mark I made. So from here, from my under bust, I'll iron this open and I will sew a boning on this part. So I'm supposed to sew boning at the edges, but because I'll be having a lacing bar at that point, I won't be doing that. So just like I said, you can decide to sew boning by the side, but I didn't actually add mine. So the more boning you sew on your pattern, the more structure structured it is. So I'll just go ahead and place and I'll stitch. So I'll also repeat this on the other side. So you know, on the sewable boning there's a part for sewing, that is where you'll be stitching on it. So I'll just go ahead and stitch on those parts, and I will also create a lacing bar at this part, so there's no need stitching a boning on this part while I'm sewing. So I'm done sewing and this is what I have. So as you can see, I have boning on those parts that I said I was going to sew boning to. So I'm just going to go ahead to turn this with my main fabric, and on the main fabric I ironed a soft or light wadding to the bust area. So I didn't use a thick wadding there, but you can also use your already made cup or your thick wadding, whatever that works for you. So I'll just go ahead and place this, and I'm going to be pinning this pattern up before I'll go ahead and stitch. So you're going to go ahead and pin this from the side to the upper part, and from the upper part to the other side of this dress before you go ahead and stitch this down.
She got my back, I'm happy that say everything I do is for my woman. Anything I talk where you talk, I go do. Me, I know they see another girl for my visuals. Yeah. Loving you, now in my ritual.
So after you're done pinning up your pattern, what you're going to do is just to go ahead and stitch with 1/2 inch, and you're going to notch it all the way around. So I'm done sewing and I'm just going to go ahead to notch my pattern all the way around. This is to enable me turn it very well, and I'm going to go ahead to iron this. So I'll also be ironing the bust area with my tailor's ham, but I'll be doing my ironing inside because I don't have any source of light outside here, and I'll just go ahead to go and iron this out. So after notching it, I'll go ahead to turn this to the right side. So at this point, if you find this tutorial very interesting and educative, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and leave your comment at the comment section. If you have any question also, you can go ahead and leave it at the comment section. So for the main part of the fabric, I forgot, you can also go ahead and iron a stay to it. So this is it after I'm done turning. So I'll be stitching around 0.75 inches here because I'll be using a sewable, I'll be using a plastic boning on this part, and the plastic boning is about 0.5 inches. But to make sure that my boning fits very well, because I have a wadding at the upper part, I'll just sew 0.75 at that point. So I'll just go ahead and give this a good press, and I will go ahead to stitch my fabric down to create a lacing bar area. So after I'm done sewing, this is what I have. I'm done ironing it and I've sewed the boning channel. So now I also inserted a plastic boning to this part of the corset that has the lacing bar area, because you're going to be lacing it up in front and you want to make sure that it is firm at that part. And also because I didn't add much boning on my pattern. So after this, I'll just fold this up and I'll place, and I'll be stitching it down with 1/2 inch at the lower part or to the end. And after that, I'll just go ahead to fold it and top stitch it to the right side. So this fabric I used is about 1.5 inches, and I went ahead to measure what I had, the length of my pattern, sorry, the length of my dress at the lower part. So after I'm done sewing and sewing the lower part of this dress, this is what I have. This is what my dress looks like. So you can see the inside is neat and this is what the outside looks like. So now the next step I'm going to take is just to go ahead and insert my eyelets to the dress. So after I'm done inserting the eyelet, this is what it looks like. And with this, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. Please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and join us in our next video. Thanks.